Kozosangpo and a warm welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine. I am Tashiangdan. Our top stories of the week. His Majesty the King visits Gelifu, Chukha and Samtsi on royal tour of the south. Her Majesty the Geltsing graces opening ceremony of National Recovery Symposium. And Bhutan's national basketball team makes history, defeating Bangladesh in nail-biting final of Five Nation Championship. His Majesty the King was on a royal tour of Gelifu, Samtsi and Chukha this week. During the tour, His Majesty visited the Gelsung Academy sites in Samtsi and Gelifu and also granted audiences to the Desups training in the 58th batch Desung Accelerated Training Program in Chukha, Gelifu, Tashichulung and Tendu. Her Majesty the Geltsin graced the opening ceremony of the National Recovery Symposium, a 3-day event organized by the PEMA Secretariat to help address the issues of substance use and substance use disorder.
The National Recovery Symposium brings together professionals, policymakers, community leaders, family members, and individuals in recovery to strengthen care and aftercare services for individuals with substance use disorder and foster a robust recovery community. The ceremony, which was attended by the Prime Minister, senior government leaders, representatives from development partners, experts and participants, recognized the contribution of volunteers whose works have impacted the lives and recovery journeys of numerous individuals. It also celebrated the achievements of recovering individuals who have overcome setbacks and obstacles to lead healthy and productive lives. Her Majesty presented certificates of commendation to the volunteers, comprising of counselors as well as those in recovery who have established groups and communities to help others. Awards for recognition of sobriety were presented to those who have been free from substance use for more than 3 years. Individuals in recovery also had the opportunity to share their stories and recovery journeys. The Pema Center Secretariat was established under the royal initiative of Her Majesty the Geltsin to help care for the mental health and well-being of all Bhutanese through improved policies and programs, multi-sectoral partnerships, and service delivery network. The event, which marks the first annual Pema Symposium on mental health, has the theme Substance Use Disorder is a Preventable and Treatable Disease. It brings together groups and individuals to discuss and understand the science, social issues, and effective treatment strategies for substance use disorder, highlighting the importance of compassion and empathy for a comprehensive national response. Ishe Gelson, BBS News.
Her Majesty Queen Mother Tsring Yangdan Wangchuk and His Royal Highness Gelse Jigme Namgyal graced the ceremony to install the Serto on the Utse of the Cherry Monastery on 23rd June.
The ceremony held to install the Sito was led by the Doji Lebe along with senior monks from the clergy. Early this morning, the sacred relics of Cherry were moved into the new Gyönkha. Her Majesty the Queen Mother and His Royal Highness the Gelse offered prayers and butter lamps. Representatives of the clergy offered kusung tugi. Cherry Dojidin Monastery, which was built by Shabdrung Ngawang Namgyal in 1620, is an important seat of the Drukpa Kagyu and of immense historical and cultural importance to Bhutan. Major restoration works of the Cherry Gyömba is being carried out, overseen by the Department of Culture and Dzongkha Development. The works include fortifying the surroundings and improving safety and access to the 400-year-old monastery. Yishe Gelson, BBS News.
During the question hour session in the National Assembly 22nd June, Health Minister Dichin Wangmo said the attrition rate in the health sector is concerning but not alarming. currently standing at 4%. The minister said the attrition rate would only be considered alarming if it surpasses 10%. Partham Shongpo MP Pasang Doji questioned the minister about the government's plan to ensure the delivery of health services without being compromised by the attrition rate.
According to the Health Ministry's official data, more than 1,000 people in the health sector resigned in the last 7 years. The ministry's records show that the attrition rate of clinical employees was at 4.11% last year.
Health sector ki attrition di tawachin gelyongnal international.
If we are to look at our country's health sector attrition rate and look at the international literature, we only have to worry when the attrition reaches 10%. However, there are challenges at the National Referral Hospital where we only have one specialist in every department, such as one neurologist, one oncologist, one oncosurgeon, and one ICU specialist. These shortages hamper service delivery.
To address the attrition problem, the Health Ministry is exploring various approaches. These include reallocating health professionals based on patient numbers and commencing the country's first MBBS program this September.
Currently, there are no such plans and policies that focuses on the improvement of the health sector aligning with the need of new services in the 21st century. However, we have developed a document outlining requirements and plans for the next 10 years.
The minister also emphasized the need for additional incentives for health professionals as a means to address the attrition problem. For Tashi Dekker, this is Tikil Hazum for BBS News.
Karma Donenwangdi, the former Minister for erstwhile Information and Communications Ministry, has resigned as the Member of Parliament of Gelifu constituency. According to a news release from the National Assembly issued on 27th June, the Speaker has accepted his resignation letter. The former minister voluntarily stepped down from his cabinet position in April this year after the reorganization of 10 ministries to 9. The Election Commission said no by-election would be held to fill the vacancy as the former minister's tenure would run out in less than 6 months if he did not resign. According to the Election Act, a by-election is held when there are more than 180 days or 6 months left in the member's term after his or her resignation. The former minister was not available for comments. A second solar power plant has been installed in the capital under the Bhutan Solar Initiative project. Aimed at fulfilling the need for clean and renewable energy, the 500 kilowatt ground-mounted solar power plant was commissioned on 28 June, coinciding with Guru Rinpoche's birth anniversary. The plant is expected to generate 835,000 units of electricity annually, worth almost 4 million yetam.
This solar power plant located at the Shinchuling will generate more than double the electricity generated by the rooftop plant at the Centenary Farmers Market. Much like the rooftop solar plant, this plant also has a control room which will display the status of the project and its power generation data. The project was implemented by Bhutanese engineers with the help of 45 Desups from the Desung Skilling Program and 4 TTI graduates. An external expert was also engaged for quality assurance. Considering the royal vision for energy security and sustainable development, the project also aims at establishing technical and economic viability of solar panels in the country and build local capacity in this sector. Around 27 million yutam was spent on the project, which was funded by the Bhutan Trust Fund for Environmental Conservation. The Bhutan Solar Initiative project, which was initiated under the Royal Command, is also getting ready to start 2 more solar plants. According to project officials, the next projects will be implemented completely by Bhutanese teams. Namgidim, BBS News.
Indigenous Bhutanese products are encountering difficulties in entering the international market. The lack of certification and expertise in labeling and packaging are hindering the success of these products abroad. The Bhutan Chamber of Commerce and Industry (BCCI) said that certification issued by the Bhutan Food and Drug Authority are often not recognized internationally. As a result, the BCCI is working towards providing certification for local products by sending entrepreneurs to receive training on labeling and packaging in India soon.
Certification plays a crucial role in the global market as it ensures the safety and reliability of products. Product certification is essential to demonstrate quality and safety, which are fundamental elements for export. As the local products in the country need certification to meet global standards to access international markets, it is a challenge for entrepreneurs. They raised this during the BCCI's 5-day thematic expo, which is ongoing in the capital.
As the country's population is small, there is no market in our country. And due to the absence of certification, the country lacks the opportunity to export its products.
He also highlighted the benefits of obtaining certifications such as the Japanese Agricultural Standard, JAS, and European Union, EU, as they would open up opportunities to export to other countries.
Even if we do not get EU certification, getting a JAS certification would benefit us. If we have the JAS certification, we can export to Malaysia, Singapore, and many countries in South Asia.
According to the BCCI's president, the lack of packaging and labeling experts within the country is another obstacle to exporting finished goods globally.
Since we are lack of the experts in Bhutan to bring into finished product, we are lack of expert on packaging and labeling.
Although BCCI officials conducted testing and certification of around 24 cottage and small industry CSI products with Farsi in India, the absence of mutual recognition limits the acceptance in international markets.
Before, we were hugely supported by the Department of Cottage and Small Industry to export the products to other countries. We sold half of it, but the other half of my products were sent back to the country for upgrades due to labeling and packaging not meeting global standards.
Meanwhile, the certification process for local products is currently ongoing.
Access to finance is the most challenging for the entrepreneurs. And related to certification also, we are also talking with various countries to support us on the certification of our product to penetrate in the international market.
BCCI officials highlighted the positive impact of testing and certification on exports. They said assured international markets lead to increased confidence in scaling up production, diversifying products, and expanding operations. Sonam Yuden, PBS News.
For working parents struggling with childcare concerns, you can now hire foreign child caregivers. The Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Employment launched its Foreign Child Caregiver project a few weeks ago. The project is aimed at easing the challenges associated with balancing work and childcare responsibilities. It is also to encourage families to have more children.
Before starting the project, the Department of Labor conducted a pilot phase during which 30 families were selected to hire foreign child caregivers on first-come, first-served basis. One of them is Sonam Topgay and his family. Sonam Topgay is a civil servant and his wife runs a business. During the program's pilot phase, Sonam applied for a foreign child caregiver to assist with his 9-year-old son. He said the introduction of such a project has proven to be a blessing for his family.
If you don't have such a helper, then there is a bit of complication in life. Suppose if I'm attending a meeting, then my wife is engaged in other things, then there's no one to look after my kid. At home, at the same time, there's no one to pick him up from the school, and which gives some trouble for us.
Sonam added that having a reliable caregiver has significantly impacted their lives.
With this policy and with the implementation of the child caregiver in the country, especially for myself, it brings lots of significant importance to our life. we have a peaceful life. With her support, we have a time where we can spend together. Sometimes, like when we go for, especially when you have a social gatherings, plus when you have the demise of a family members from other.
After the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Employment released a notification on the availability of foreign child caregivers a few weeks ago, about 10 families have applied for the service so far. Sange Doji, the Chief Labour Officer with the Labour Department, said that a research conducted by the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Employment revealed that the country's population currently falls below global standards. He said, recognizing the need to assist working parents in raising children, the ministry developed the program as a measure to address the issue.
If both the parents are working, they are not having time to engage with their children. So we thought that bringing this project would encourage our parents to have subsequent children, like first, second, third, like that. So this will boost the growth population of the country.
According to the Department of Labour, to be eligible for the program, both parents must be employed either in the public or private sector within Bhutan and have children under the age of 12. Officials said parents themselves have to find a caregiver and notify the Department of Labour for approval. Caregivers must be 18 years or older. According to the ministry, the minimum wage for caregivers should be 4,500 nyutam per month. However, a survey of the pilot phase found that most of the families paid between 8,000 to 13,000 nyutam for a caregiver. Karmasamtan Wangda for PBS News.
If everything goes well at the upcoming board meeting, tour guides will start receiving a daily subsistence allowance, DSA of more than 3,000 nyutam, starting next month. The allowance will also cover their professional fees. The proposal was made during a consultative meeting between the Department of Tourism and the Guides Association of Bhutan on 23rd June. Through the DSA revision, the association aims to enhance the quality of guides and promote professionalism in the services offered by the tour guides. According to the founder of the Guides Association of Bhutan, the majority of the tour guides currently earn a DSA ranging from 1,500 to 2,000 per day, depending on the nationality of tourists, the duration of the tour, and the number of tourists. Further, of about 4,000 guides in the country, almost 3,000 are freelancers who do not receive a monthly salary. And the current DSA is considered to be quite low.
In the past, we used to have almost around 600-700 guides who were working permanently with the tour operators, which means they were getting paid a salary. But now, the guides only get paid DSA. 2,000 we feel is too less for guides. The reason behind this is that guides now the guides have to actually pay for the accommodations and for meals too, especially mostly with the Indian tourists.
He added that most of the guides have to spend about 80% of the DSA on food and accommodation during the tour, leaving them with minimal savings.
The idea is not to rip off tour operators. The reason is that if they are well paid, they can actually work passionately, professionally, and definitely represent our country much better.
In addition, the Guide Association of Bhutan and the department are focusing on enhancing skilling and reskilling programs to further improve their services. The association also emphasized the importance of introducing a provident fund scheme for the guides. Currently, there are 1,800 licensed tour guides who have successfully passed the Tourism Department's Tour Guide Readiness Assessment Test. The test plays a vital role in enhancing the capabilities and competence of the guides. Tashyangdan, PBS News. The glaciers in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region disappeared 65% faster since 2010 as compared to the previous decade. Floods and landslides are projected to increase over the coming decades. This is according to the Water, Ice, Society and Ecosystems in the Hindu Kush Himalaya report, which was launched on 23rd June in Thimphu. The report reveals the alarming impacts of climate change on the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. The region provides fresh water to 2 billion people in Asia, including Bhutan.
Bhutan depends on its glaciers for water resources, economy, and agriculture. According to the reports, Bhutan is already experiencing the effects of global warming, with incidents of glacial lake outburst floods reported in the past. Reduced snow cover, untimely snowfall, and increased change in the river flows over time are also indications of climate change.
The movement of the species which are used to warmer areas now moving up the horizontal, the vertical, is moving upwards, upslope. And you look at the tigers. Now tigers are coming into the habitat of snow leopards. So where would the snow leopards go? Similarly, invasive species, like our blue pine, is going up and occupying the space, the habitat of other plants. So these are things that we could see ourselves.
Moreover, the report predicts a twofold increase in fire hazards occurrence by the end of this century in Bhutan. Experts say there is a need of policy in the country to adapt to such changes and tackle any threats to biodiversity. The report also warns the glaciers in Hindu Kush Himalayan region could lose up to 80% of their current volume by the end of this century. The 8 countries in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region are also advised to collaborate to mitigate the effects of climate change.
At the national level, our institutions need to work together so that we have a coordinated mechanism. And at the regional level, our countries, regional member countries, the 8 Hindu Kush Himalayan countries, Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, need to come together to work together.
We are one of the largest stakeholder in this Hindu Kush Himalayan region, and we understand and we are aware of our responsibilities to address and mitigate the impacts of climate change through various actions, positive actions. At the same time, we will appeal to the global fraternity to help in this endeavor, because this is not one country's concern.
Actually, Hindu Kush Himalayan region is a very fragile and dangerous, not maybe dangerous, but fragile environment. The glaciers are melting and we are affected by untimely rain, flood and drought as well. So in this context, we have to collaborate with stakeholder countries, like upstream countries like Bhutan and Nepal and even China.
The report urges policymakers to prepare for the cascading impacts of climate change and mobilize finance for losses and damages. The report is based on the latest scientific evidence written by 35 researchers and scientists from 12 countries and 23 institutions. The International Center for Integrated Mountain Development, or ICMOD, published the report. Sinkidema, BBS News.
Bhutanese athletes have started to make strides in the international arena, and the next stage may very well be in swimming. The International Standard Swimming Pool in the capital, which is nearing completion, is expected to train and churn out professional swimmers that will compete with the very best. The swimming pool complex is expected to be ready by September this year.
Today, about 90% of the construction works have been completed on the swimming pool complex located at Bebina. The construction of the complex began in late 2021 but was delayed by the COVID pandemic. The International Standard Complex will have an 8-lane pool with a distance of 25 meters. It will also have changing rooms, bathrooms, an office space and a cafeteria. According to the Bhutan Aquatic Federation, due to lack of facilities, the federation has been seeing very less number of youth coming forward to participate in national and international competitions. Training swimmers with potential for international competitions is also a challenge for the federation.
Without swimming facilities, we are sending coaches to train outside. Likewise, children are also sent outside for training. We don't have the facilities to teach interested swimmers, whether they are youth or children. Sometimes we have no choice but to train them in hotels that have swimming pools.
He shared that due to the lack of training facilities in the country, 2 swimmers will be taking part in the upcoming Asian Games, are currently training in Thailand. They are the only 2 national level swimmers in the country. But all this is expected to change once the facility becomes ready.
If you want to participate in the international tournament, we can train here in our country. Once we have the complex, we can provide trainers to train interested youth. Similarly, it will help us select those with potential if we have training hubs.
The swimming pool complex will also be able to accommodate more than 200 spectators for tournaments. The Government of India is supporting the project worth more than 66 million yutam. The swimming complex is being constructed on an area of 6 acres which already has a skate park, a badminton stadium and an under-construction football arena. For Karmawandi, Tsringdiki for PBS News.
Bhutan has made history at the 5-Nation Championship with the men's national basketball team clinching the first international trophy for the country at the expense of Bangladesh. In a nerve-wracking final on 22nd June, Bhutan came from behind late into the match to secure a memorable victory. The match played in the Maldives was watched by thousands of Bhutanese back home.
In a thrilling encounter, Bhutan hit the ground running, opening the scoring. The match intensified with the teams going neck and neck. In the second quarter, Bhutan's speed and well-executed passes helped them secure a 10-point lead, which eventually increased to 22 by the third quarter. However, Bangladesh stepped up their offensive game in the fourth quarter, capitalizing on turnovers and exploiting Bhutan's foul troubles. With 21 seconds remaining, Bhutan's lead was cut down to 1 point. Bangladesh then capitalized on a foul, leading the game 60-59 with only 11 seconds remaining on the clock. With time virtually over, Bhutan scored a decisive layup and a free throw with just a second left, sealing the victory by 2 points.
The guys didn't give up. We didn't give up. Even in the dying seconds when they took the lead, we were saying in a huddle that we have to give all this one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So we didn't give up. I think that's the greatest thing about my team. We don't give up easily.
Meanwhile, the historic moment was relished with pride and delight throughout the country as fans back home watched the nail-biting match live.
I didn't even think Bhutan would win. Since I play basketball too, the match made me very anxious. But it was fun to watch it with my family.
It was surprising to see Bhutan win yesterday. I am glad Bhutan won. It made me like basketball even more. I want to make a living playing basketball when I grow up.
I thought Bhutan would lose in the third quarter, and then I thought Bhutan might win in the fourth quarter. The match was very exciting. Even my parents were jumping with joy.
The team will arrive in the country tomorrow. For Karmasamtanwanda, Tsringdiki for PBS News.
That is it for this week. Do join us next week as well. Thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.